Hey, I was just trying to be friendly to your sister, and she looked at me like I had two heads. What have you been telling Liz about me?
Nothing, Emily. Liz just hasn't been feeling very well and has been a little edgy, and, you know, maybe until she's feeling better, you could just let her be by herself.
Hello, Bobby.
Hi, Audrey.
Hello, Elizabeth. How was school today?
It's okay. I mean, it was a little hard. With people not knowing and me wondering if they ever will.
Well, the less we brood about it, the less likely it is to happen, don't you think?
You know, Jax, you're under no obligation to be bored because Brenda isn't here.
Well, I'd have to be a pretty boring fella to be bored by you. Now, I meant it when I said I came here to see you.
Okay. Here I am. State your business.
I've been wondering how you've been doing since I dragged you away from Paris. You know, the withdrawals of the wine and the scenery and the Jerry Law's Film Festival.
Oh, yeah. Well, the important thing in my life is the people that I care about. Like you. It was very generous of you to bring me here.
Not really. I did have my own reasons for asking you to come home.
I had my own reasons for coming.
I'd like to think so. Lets me off the hook when I see how difficult it is for you here sometimes.
You mean here in the cottage or here in Port Charles?
Oh, wherever, whatever. If I've put you in a painful situation, then it can be undone as easily as it was done. And I'm sure Brenda would understand.
I'm sure she would. But you don't really mean her, do you?
No, I don't. You're very special to me, Robin. And I just want you to know that when I asked you to come back home, I had no idea that Jason had fathered a child with another woman.
You're right, you didn't. You asked me to come and visit Brenda, and that's what I did. The decision to stay was mine, and whatever pain comes with that, it's not your fault.
Or maybe not. All the same, I think it's time for me to get out of the grand gesture business.
Well, I don't think you could give that up for long. You just know how to be yourself. I mean, I know you don't like Jason, but that one thing you do have in common.
Is there something I can do for you, Brenda?
So, this is the woman that you betrayed Robin for?
Excuse me? Have we met?
Carly, don't even get into it. She just goes on for a while, and then she goes away.
Well, I was just thinking that maybe you could have possibly told Robin about this, whatever it is you two do together earlier, so that way she wouldn't have had to feel like she failed you because she couldn't handle your business. Or maybe you could have possibly been a real man and walked away from her first, considering we all know that you're not good enough for her.
Why don't you shut your mouth?
If Jason really loved you or his baby, he wouldn't put you two in danger like this, would he?
Well, why don't you look? If you go back to shopping and you try really hard, I'm sure you can find yourself a nice fashionable straitjacket in your size.
Carly, it's not worth it.
Jason, I don't know what you think you owe her, but I don't owe her anything except what she has coming. Look, you come in here shooting your mouth off about things that you obviously know nothing about, like how Jason feels about his son. And by the way, what is between us is none of your damn business, is it? I wouldn't point fingers or throw stones if I were you. Aren't you the one that I read in the paper dumped her husband for Sonny Corinthos?
Yeah, that's right. Going back to Sonny Corinthos was the biggest mistake I ever made, and I'm going to make sure that Robin does not make that same mistake with Jason.
Well, you know, you should be happy to see me with someone else.
No,
Brenda.
Jason, I'm not happy to see you with someone else. No, because you still haven't cut Robin out of your life, have you? And I don't even... What are you doing? Are you trying to look like Sonny? You think that the clothes are going to make you the man? This might actually be a good thing because hopefully Robin will see this and she'll realize what you've truly become. And Robin deserves to know the truth, even if it hurts.
All right, you know what, Brenda? That's enough. You can go crazy, you can scream at me, you can hate me, but don't you ever, ever hurt Robin again to get back at me.
No, I guess that's your job now, isn't it? Well, congratulations. You've become Sonny.
Jason, I am so sorry. I never even thought about what my lie would make people think.
Carly, don't worry about it. Robin knows the truth. I don't care what anybody else thinks, including Brenda, okay? No matter what I do, she's gonna hate me. There's no fixing that.
But I don't get why you put up with it.
I promised a friend.
Must be some friend.
Yeah. Well, look. You're right. You and Justice, the clothes make a difference. These really made Brenda angry. How much do I owe you?
What?
What, you provided a service for me. I should pay you something.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? You know what? Let's just say that this pays you back a little bit of what I owe you, okay?
Thank you.
It was my pleasure.
You know, Audrey, Elizabeth's really doing much better than I thought she would.
You know, when Elizabeth started working here at Kelly's, Ruby was very skeptical, but I was always certain that she could turn into a very responsible young lady if she developed the right attitude. Attitude really is the secret to facing most of life's challenges, I think.
I'm sure. Audrey? Mm-hmm. I owe you an apology for days now.
Whatever for.
Well, because Lucky brought me to Liz the night of the attack. And I really did want to tell you about it right away. But Liz begged me not to. And I'm so glad that you and I can finally be open.
Bobby, I think that Elizabeth's instinct was correct, you know. The best way to deal with this is to just leave it where it is in the past. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. It's a very useful prayer sometimes. If you'll excuse me for a moment. Excuse me, Emily. Would you mind terribly if I had a private word or two with my granddaughter?
Not at all. Guess we're finished here?
Emily.
Sarah, I hope that someday you'll see that I was only trying to be a friend. And not just to Nicholas.
Oh, dear. I hope I wasn't rude.
Like you could be rude.
It's not always easy to get a minute with a busy teenager. Sarah, I just wanted to be certain that we understand each other about Elizabeth.
I'm keeping a close eye on her, Gran. She's getting better, and maybe in a few days she'll be strong enough to get professional help.
Well, maybe she'll be strong enough to do it on her own. You see, until then, we are all the help Elizabeth really needs.
The man who raped Elizabeth will be punished. Lucky, you have to believe that. It'll be cause and effect or momentum or
Dad,
karma.
I'm not talking that kind of punishment. I'm talking about bars and chains and bread and water. After that, if he wants to throw in a guilty conscience, no problem.
This is turning into quite a crusade for you.
Why not? Elizabeth is a good friend. You know, maybe she wasn't at first, but she's funny. She makes me laugh. And she's so bad at hiding how she feels, it's almost like being honest. I should have just gone to the dance with her, Dad. I told her I would meet her
Look,
at the
I know where you're going with this. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
Dad, I just should have kept my promise.
Look, don't do that. Don't ever take another man's crime as your own. There is one man responsible, one predator. It's not you, it's not Elizabeth, it's not even my fault. And if it hadn't been her, Lucky, it would have been some other young woman who didn't deserve it any more than she did. Are you going to feel guilty about her, too? Just this one guy, this one coward, He is responsible, the man who used your friend to feel better about himself for one insane moment in his miserable life.
Yeah, so the guy just gets away with it. You know how sick I am of this? It just